save money, stop food waste, and keep food fresh all year. Amish families have mastered a food system that thrives through time, weather, and power outages. It all begins in their massive family gardens. Forget the cute backyard herb boxes. We're talking 1 to 2 acres built like a fortress. From the first thaw of spring, the whole family jumps in. Kids pulling weeds, teens tilling rows, adults mapping plots with the precision of Why this scale? It's about total control. They hand-pick varieties bred for preservation. Roma tomatoes for their meaty flesh and low water, perfect for dense sauces that store without spoiling. Blue Lake beans that snap crisp even after drying. Detroit dark red beets for pickling that hold color and crunch through winter. A single family might plant 500 feet of beans, 100 tomato vines, sprawling cornfields, beets, peppers, carrots, squash, enough for 8 to 10 mouths through brutal winters. This isn't random planting. They rotate crops yearly. Beans follow corn to fix nitrogen depleted by heavy feeders, then oats or wheat to rebuild structure. Studies from Ohio State University show this boosts soil microbes by 40%, slashing erosion and pest buildup. No chemicals here, just manure from their barns, composted with kitchen scraps and leaves. A 2023 USDA report notes Amish soils average 20% higher organic matter than conventional farms, yielding 15 to 25% more per acre. In the 1700s, Amish ancestors fleeing Europe brought seeds from Swiss Alps, adapting them to American soils through trial and error. Today, heirloom varieties like Brandywine tomatoes or Amish paste resist blight better than hybrids, per seed bank data from Seed Savers Exchange. Kids learn this early. By age 5, they're spotting soil pH with homemade testers, vinegar and baking soda reactions, building character while ensuring future harvests. As summer peaks, canning erupts like a family festival. Kitchens turn into steamy labs. 500 to 1,000 jars per household, from basics like green beans, snapped by kids, to innovations like vegetable soup starters, chunky pizza sauces, fiery sauces, sweet chow chow relish. Fruits morph into pie fillings, jams, apple butters, juices. Zero waste. Peach pits brew vinegar, corn cobs smoke meats. No grid power? Propane stoves or wood-fired canners hum. Pressure canning low acids like meats at 10 to 15 psi for 90 minutes kills botulism. CDC stats show home canning done right is safer than store-bought. Moms master the jiggle of canner gauges by ear, jam set by finger test. Recipes? Oral traditions. Add salt till it tastes like the ocean. A Pennsylvania study found Amish canned goods retain 80% more vitamins than commercial due to peak ripeness picking. Take green beans. Wash, snap ends, pack hot jars with salt, cover with boiling water, process 25 minutes at 10 psi. Safety tip: always use tested recipes from Ball Blue Book to avoid risks. For fruits, water bath high acids. Strawberries simmered into jam, processed 10 minutes. Historical note: canning boomed post-1810 with Duran's tin cans, but Amish stuck to glass for purity. But canning's one star in a constellation. Dehydration harnesses sun. Beans threaded into leather breeches dangle in attics, rehydrating into summer fresh soups midwinter. Corn kernels dry on screens, sweet chews for stews. Modern twist, solar dehydrators from salvaged windows amplify heat. A 2022 homesteading trial showed dehydrated foods last 1 to 2 years vacuum-sealed, retaining 90% nutrition. A hog yields bacon, hams, sausages, nose-to-tail ethos. Cure hams in salt sugar for weeks, smoke with hickory, flavor profiles, apple wood for sweet, maple for smoky. Canned cuts last years. USDA research. Smoking adds antimicrobial phenols, extending shelf life 50%. Nose to tail fights waste. Our 40% food trash could feed millions per EPA. Community weaves it tight. Frolics swap apples for beans, share labor. Young brides learn from elders. If crisis strikes, injury, flood, jars appear anonymously. Sociologist Donald Craybill's 40-year study calls this social capital, their ultimate insurance, stronger than policies. Health dividends. Whole food diet, garden eggs, full-fat dairy, fermented veggies, yields 4% obesity versus America's 42%, per 2004 Maryland study. No additives, hidden sugars, nutrient-dense soil from rotations packs 50% more vitamins, USDA tests show. Seasonal eating syncs circadian rhythms. Midday feasts fuel farm work. 14,000 to 18,000 steps daily. No gyms. Rest. Sunset bedtimes yield 8 to 9 hours sleep, slashing chronic disease 30%. Harvard research. Genetics sweeten it. PAI1 mutation in Indiana Amish extends life 10%, per 2017 Northwestern study. Longer telomeres, lower diabetes. Overall, lower cancer, 40% less Ohio study. Heart disease, despite fatty diets, activity counters. Lessons for us 40-plus folks ditching convenience traps. Start micro. Can market berries into jam. Recipe: boil 4 cups berries, 2 cups sugar, lemon juice. Process 10 minutes. Salvage soft apples into sauce. Swap processed for full-fat yogurt. Host neighbor swaps, tomatoes for beans, building bonds. Urban adaptations, basement cellars, community plots. Apps track preserves, but ditch screens for hands-in dirt therapy. This Amish rebellion champions skill over gadgets, quality over excess. Food's a lived epic, from seed to table, weathering storms. Adopt one tip weekly, reclaim independence.
Dear friends, in this busy world, finding peace and simplicity is a true blessing. If you appreciate the Amish way, their wisdom, their care for saving and enjoying life's simple joys, I warmly invite you to subscribe to my channel. Together, we can learn to live more thoughtfully, with less stress and more joy. Your support means the world to me and helps our community grow. Thank you for being here. I wish you health, happiness, and peace every day.
Herbs and spices, the secret weapon in the kitchen. At first glance, a sprig of thyme or a rosemary leaf might just seem like a fragrant addition to your dish. But for the Amish, dried herbs are way more than flavor boosters. They're part of their survival toolkit for long-term food preservation. These folks are pros at growing, drying, and storing herbs. Picture their kitchens: bundles of oregano, marjoram, peppermint, thyme, basil, and even strings of garlic hanging beautifully from the ceiling. It's decor, medicine, and food preserver all in one. Why are these herbs such a big deal? Because most of them have natural antibacterial and antifungal properties. That means they don't just make food taste amazing, they help keep it fresh without a fridge. Take thyme, for example. It adds a cozy flavor to your stew while fighting off bacteria that could spoil your meal. Here's a scene in the dead of winter when fresh veggies are nowhere to be found and the market's empty. The Amish throw together a pot of soup on their wood stove. They toss in dried summer veggies, a pinch of salt, some dried garlic, and a handful of thyme. The result? A steaming, fragrant, nutrient-packed soup that's safe to eat and tastes like a hug. There's an old saying, nature is God's silent pharmacy. The Amish live by this. For them, drying herbs is about respecting the earth and its gifts. They waste nothing, using every leaf to its fullest. Some Amish families even pass down handwritten notebooks from past generations, filled with tips on which herbs heal what ailments, how to dry them, and where to store them. It's like a family treasure of knowledge. Here's the kicker. If dried and stored properly, many of these herbs keep their flavor and power for 2, even 3 years. Unlike fridge veggies that wilt in days, these are a long-lasting, valuable stash. So, for the Amish, herbs aren't just about taste. They're a symbol of simplicity, skill, and smarts that can fit into any home. Maybe it's time to take another look at that dried parsley hiding in the back of your cupboard. And maybe most importantly, the Amish remind us that simplicity is beautiful. It's about cooking without rushing, savoring the flavors, and enjoying a meal with family, heart full of joy. It's about making peace with nature, not fighting it. If this way of life speaks to you and you want to learn more, hit that subscribe button. This is just the beginning. In our next videos, we're diving deeper into the simple, meaningful, and amazing world of the Amish. Modern life is noisy, but sometimes the answers we need are found in the quiet. Until the next video, take care of yourself and the nature around you. Throughout this journey, we've seen how a simple, quiet people, far from modern tech, have mastered ways to keep their food fresh for months or even years, using nothing but nature's gifts. No fridges, no electricity, no chemical preservatives. From water bath canning to burying eggs in wood ash, from smoking meat to storing potatoes in underground root cellars, from drying herbs to preserving meat in animal fat, these aren't just techniques. They're part of a whole worldview. The Amish teach us that simple living doesn't mean going without. It means living smart. It's about making the most of what you have and relying less on systems that could fail at any moment. Sure, we might love our fridges and gas heaters, but knowing these methods, that's power every person should have. One day, maybe not too far off, these skills could be a lifeline for us and our loved ones.